Hey everyone, welcome to the first Fake Gamers Lounge episode in nearly a year.
Yeah.
I'm here with Jake, who's echoing my sound, so sorry about that. It's gonna be like that for this episode, hopefully only. His headphones are having trouble.
Well, I'm not using them right now. I'm not using my speaker.
Yeah, that's probably why I can hear them.
My phone output settings, then I think I can barely hear you. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, have you tried turning up the volume all the way on your computer or something?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, let me.
Is it really low?
Yeah, see if is that better? I can barely hear you, but
have you tried turning my user volume up?
So sorry for this intro. Alright, I'll put it back on the speaker. Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. Technical. But this is how we have to do it. Unfortunately.
Yep.
So today I figured if you checked out the last movie we did together, we talked about The Crow, and I thought we had a really good conversation.
Yeah.
That almost was like a review / a podcast.
Yeah.
So, check that out, by the way.
Yeah, if you haven't.
You check it out first. So this is kind of a part 2, but it will be very minor references because due to the topic.
Yeah.
But check out that first, and then you can come on back here, and basically we're going to keep the conversation going. So today, we will be discussing a potential, well, not potential, but what me and Gare would do if we were in charge of a quote-unquote remake. So, to start off by saying, they've been trying to remake. They use the term reinvent, but I feel like when they say, "Oh, we're gonna take a new take on the story, a new take," I feel like they just go back to doing shot for shot.
Yeah.
I feel like so. So this is basically what we would do if we were in charge. We can as many resources as we have because this is technically a fantasy.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like a brainstorming session of something that what if.
Yeah, what if scenario. Like if we were tasked to do this and we had all the resources to do so, this is what we would do.
All the money. We'll just say we have an unlimited budget, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we're the United States military in this instant.
Yeah. So I'll just list what before we greenlight the whole production. I have a couple things that I don't want them to do, or what I want.
Yeah.
First and foremost, don't shot for shot remake it.
Yeah, that's.
I'm seeing this a lot with remakes now that they just shot for shot. The Lion King remake was literally the same film, but with live action CGI creatures. I don't want that. I feel like
it's stupid.
Just don't do it. It's really number 2. Be respectful to Brandon Lee as possible.
Yeah.
Just be respectful. Have in loving memory Brandon Lee at the end or the start of the film. Number 3, creator's blessing. He said they'll never do what they did with the original again, but he said I think he did say that he would be in favor. I'm not like I said in the last video, I'm not a walking encyclopedia. This is just from what I'm recalling. Because when we talk about the plot and stuff, I'm gonna be talking about the comic, and it's just from the best of my knowledge. I haven't read it in a while, so don't take what I say as 100% fact.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is just all improv. There's no script.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, number 3. Yeah, number 3. No, wait, no, I already said 3. Oh my god. Number 4. Don't get political. I'm seeing this a lot now with remakes. One example, I can't believe me and you were going to see it, but the Black Christmas remake. If you, we were going to go see that, but I think just plans kind of
struck
out. And I want to say thank God we didn't, because I saw it recently, and I haven't seen the original Black Christmas, but from what I can tell, it's just a slasher movie. The slasher stalking the sword, the college girls, and whatever. But the remake, I was kind of just at when I saw it, but then they revealed the plot twist. Spoilers for a bad remake. They reveal that the killer is part of this cult that was founded by this guy who thinks that men should be like superior to women, and they turn the whole thing into a thing about like cancel culture and Me Too. And I was I literally lost like all interest in. I just got like, okay, like there's nothing wrong, but it's just it's a slasher movie.
But
like, this is supposed to be a horror movie.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it can have like stuff like that, but if it's gonna make it like a main focus at the end, then it's like, what are you doing?
But it makes it on in it, but they do it like so like supernatural and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the statues like possessed and like they get like powered. Like what is going on? So and I know it's like, oh, how can they make The Crow political? Oh, they'll find a way.
Yeah,
they'll find a way. If they can find a way for a slasher movie, they'll find a way for this. Don't do it. Please. So with that being said, if everything, I think we can start with the green light.
Wait. It's like, I understand now, like, the Crow, who is ever the main character, just goes in like a lobby, and they're just like, in a place, and then they see Donald Trump, and he's like, can you tell me where the killer is? And he's like, up to the hole to the left.
Yeah, like don't do it. So anyway, with that being said, I probably have more ideas than you do.
Yeah,
but if you have anything, you can just say it.
I was planning on like going based off of you, like getting ideas from you. I mean, if I had to think about it for myself, I'd probably be able to come up with something. But like, I have other stuff I am gonna talk about in this podcast. But I will just go based off you.
Well, I've been kind of toying with I didn't want to be like, this is who I want to do, like direct or write and stuff. But I did have some ideas.
Yeah.
So for the director, I wanted none other than Chad Stahelski to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to do it. If you don't know, I said it in the last review. He is the director of the John Wick movies.
Oh.
And he was a body double in the original.
Oh yeah.
Crow film. So I think due to his personal connection to the film, that he was friends with Brandon Lee. And he was a body double. I think it would be like, it would be a guy who would care enough for love and respect for the original that he wouldn't try to.
True.
And plus, with his direction, we would get really good action sequences. Not on par with John Wick, because John Wick is supposed to be a skilled assassin, and Eric Draven's this undead killer. But I think with his choreography, and we would still get some really kick-ass fight scenes.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think it's very action-oriented, I do think, even regardless, we would still get some pretty good action sequences, like the big shootouts would look amazing. Yeah. Music, which, side note, I can't believe we didn't talk about it in the review, but the music in the original film was fucking amazing.
I honestly
the soundtrack.
I remember like some bits and pieces, but I don't remember the music that much.
If you have the time, like look up just the soundtrack. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Whether it's like songs artists recorded or like the actual film score, it's amazing. It was beautiful. And I would kind of split it up. I don't know who so for like the more serious and like sorrow moments, I get someone else. but for the angry moments, I want Mick Gordon to do it. If you guys don't know who Mick Gordon is, he is the guy who did the music for Doom and Doom Eternal. Those games.
Oh, yes, yeah, yes.
For like, you can get like, I will want specifically Mick for the angry moments, like the shootouts and stuff, like those angry moments. But for like the sad moments, you can get someone else.
I think it should just some of the tracks from the Doom games, and it's like, yes, it's perfect.
Because the aesthetic of The Crow is very punk rock. It's very rock metal.
Yeah, because like he is a musician.
What they did in the Doom soundtrack is the same thing, like metal, angry, like.
Yeah.
So I think and plus he's a genius. That Doom, especially the Doom Eternal soundtrack.
Yeah.
Really good. So I'd want him. Now, for the most controversial part that I have decided, who would play Eric Draven? I had a few ideas in mind. At first of all, I want to say is I don't think anybody will ever top Brandon Lee's performance. I don't care who you get. He brought that. Well, he took that role like seriously. He put so much into it.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody's gonna top him ever. But
something was put into him.
But we need a successor. We need a rightful successor, not to overtop, just to succeed. A tribute. At first, I was saying Sebastian Stan, who played the Winter Soldier, because I'm looking for guys. I was looking for guys who can pull off the long hair. Now it would be like a dumb wig or something, like guys who can pull it off like naturally.
Yeah.
But I said Sebastian Stan at first, but then I was rewatching one of my shows from my childhood, and I think I found the perfect guy who could do it. So I suggest Evan Jogia. Now, for the people at home, if you don't know who that is, Evan Jogia played Beck on Victorious. Now, you might think that's a controversial sort of pick, like, oh, why would you pick a Nick star to do it? But like, I think he looks the part extremely well. Not only can he pull off like the long hair, but I think he looked great in the makeup. Like, I think he can do it. And in the comics, Eric is a mechanic, and on one episode of Victorious, Beck helps Robbie fix a car, so he can pull off that he's a mechanic.
Beck from Victorious is Eric Wendell's? Confirmed? Dude. I can't believe it.
And for you, Dare, he was in Zombieland Double Tap.
Yeah. But
so
hey, that's just the Gare theory. So, so that's my pick. I think he can do it. And I think it's more of this with the Crow. It's the symbolism of rebirth. Like, like I said in the first one, Brandon was only known for like obscure martial arts movies, but then like the Crow was going to be his big break, before unfortunately he passed away. Yeah.
And I think it would fit well with Avon because you're known for being on a kids /teen show, but then with you become the Crow and it's like a rebirth, big break kind of thing.
Exactly.
And with that being said, I might as well say it for Shelley. I might as well get Liz Gillies, who was Jade on Victorious. Just for the simple fact that they played a couple, and I think they make it believable.
If I remember, Lizzie would definitely look good as Shelley. Like both those actors looked alike. They could look alike.
Yeah. And in the comics, Shelley's a blonde, and she can pull off being a blonde.
Yeah.
And plus, it would be really good to see them working together again.
Yeah.
I think she would do great, even though she's kind of known for playing like sassy, kind of hot-headed people. I think it would be really good.
Yeah.
So now, with that being said, I think we can talk about the plot. FYI, we're not going to go through the whole thing. We're not script people. I think we're just gonna do beginning, a little bit of the filler between the middle, like the climax, and like the ending. I will be trying to reference the comic as much as I can because for this, I want them to follow even closer to the comic.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I don't think. Well, for another thing, I feel like it'd be best if this was a limited series and not a movie.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
hear me out on this. I feel like you can get a lot more out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like because obviously, I think this is something that Netflix would easily pick.
Exactly.
This because Netflix isn't afraid to go there. I would say Netflix or HBO. Netflix, but I feel like Netflix is more popular these days, so I feel like it'd garner more attention if it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
I feel and a limited series. I really like how they're doing limited series now with releasing an episode each week. I feel like it builds up the hype of like what's gonna happen next and gets people excited.
Exactly.
So I think it would work best as a limited series rather than movie. How many episodes? There was 4 issues of the comic, so I'd say maybe 4 episodes, maybe 8 if you can squeeze in some more. It'd be hard, but because there would be like pacing and stuff. But I feel like with 4 or 8 episodes, with each being like maybe an hour each or something, or maybe like 40 minutes to an hour each episode, I feel like you can get a lot out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I will be talking. Another thing is I will be referencing other shows that I feel like would fit with this story. So if we go on a little tangent about like a particular like piece of media or something. So yeah. So we'll start with the beginning. And I'll also be asking you kind of like would you want this to stay from the original or do you want to cut it?
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that too. We'll kind of have a discussion about that. So we'll start with the beginning. So beginning of the film, I want it to start. I don't want it to start at the crime scene like in the original. Exactly. I want it to start at the funeral.
Yeah,
at their funeral. So why is because one, I don't want the audience to see what happened right away. I want that to be revealed, like the whole scene, like because the beginning crime scene gives you clues on what happened.
Yeah.
If you don't show what happened at all, it will build up to that suspense of what happened that night, like, and then
people die
throughout this adaptation, there would be subtle hints of what slowly revealed, like, and then at the end, you get the full scene.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, and with that, you can introduce Albrecht, Hook. For those who don't know, we talked about in the original. Albrecht is a cop that Eric befriends in the film, but in the original film, he's a hybrid of 2 characters, Captain Hook and Albrecht. Albrecht is like this in the comic. Albrecht is this like rookie cop that Eric bumps into when he's after he burned down the pawn shop. And Captain Hook is the police chief who was investigating the case. I think he ended up just destroying the records at the end or something. So yeah, I want to keep them separate. I think it would be cool if Ernie Hudson would come back as Captain Hook instead of Albrecht. It'd be really cool. Now with that being said, we could also introduce Sarah, who in the original name of the comic is named Sherry. You can probably assume why they changed it to Sarah, because Sherry sounds a lot like Shelley.
Yeah.
So with that being said, and they weren't in the comic. They weren't really like Eric didn't know Sherry in his previous life. He met her while he was, as the Crow. So with that being said, would you want Sherry/Sarah to be from Eric's previous life, or would you like it to have Eric someone befriend during his vengeful acts? So what would you think?
Have them be in a relationship? No.
I mean, he knew her. They in the original film, Eric and Shelley just took care of Sarah because Sarah's mother was too busy with Fun Boy.
Yeah.
So it's. But I'm just saying would you like if they were he knew her before, or that he just meets her now? That's what I'm trying to say.
I think before, because it wouldn't make sense if they met after.
Yeah, in my opinion. He fine. I think trying to remember, I think he finds her and he kind of feels some sort of sympathy for her, and I think he has this great dialogue with her, and I think he goes so where's your mother? And she goes, with Fun Boy, and he goes, oh, I want Fun Boy too. Yeah. And he gives in the movie, he gives her the necklace with the ring on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally for me, I feel like having him, I feel like it adds a lot more if he knew her in his previous life, and I feel like it would make him much more. Because I think honestly, if without Sherry and Albrecht, I think Eric would be full on psychotic. He wouldn't have any emotional. Besides Shelley, I don't think he'd have any emotional ties.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have care for anybody except his own quest. So I feel like it would add more humanity to him per se. So I think it's a toss up because I don't want to use too much elements from the original, because we're trying to make it closer to the comic and also trying to be its own.
Yeah.
In its own adaptation. Because this is one of those stories that you can keep remaking the story of, but it's bad when you reboot a specific version of the story. The Disney remakes, they aren't remaking the original story; they're remaking their version of the story. They're remaking their version that we made already. So I feel with that. So that's just what I want to say. So of course it can come back to a year later. Eric comes out of the grave and with sorrow, and now with that being said, I want to take it to a new approach. So in the film and the comic, you can see when Eric touches something, he gains that is associated with him. He gains the memories. Oh, so with that being said, I want the audience to learn with him. I want because I want it to feel like you're on the journey with him.
Yeah. So,
when he touches something per se maybe a picture or something, he gets a flashback. This is and we talked about before in our review. I want it to be a full scene, not a few seconds.
Yeah.
I want them to not just a couple seconds. I want an actual long scene. I want the audience to connect with Eric, even though he's doing immoral things. But I want the audience to feel like this is justified, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this is wrong for him to do, but I understand why, because I'm learning with him what.
Yeah, what's happening.
How much he loved Shelley and what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So with get some full scenes of them together.
Exactly.
Maybe make some new scenes that weren't in the comic, that
just do a different thing as well, not them getting intruded into their house, maybe. Yeah. I don't know what else they would do, but just make the entire scene different from what it actually was.
Yeah. So when he comes back, he he has no idea who he is.
Yeah.
What happened? He's like confused and stuff. So when he touches those objects, like I said, he gains memories. That's why when I don't know if it was clear for you, but like that's the reason why those flashbacks happen.
Oh yeah.
So when he's at the pawn shop sitting down going through the box of rings, and he's like, no, no, no. And then when he finally finds Shelly's ring, he gets a flashback. That's why he's going no, because he has no memories of that object.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and I want it to format, and I want these flashbacks to format the way 13 Reasons Why did it in the first season. Now I know online that show is pretty controversial, and I'm not gonna. I personally enjoy it. That's all I'm gonna say. But I feel like the first season was the show at its best. Yada yada yada. But the way they handle flashbacks is, first of all, if you don't know what that show is about, it's about a girl named Hannah Baker who commits suicide and leaves behind 7 tapes, and each side is a reason why she took her own life, and there's obviously 13 reasons. Each reason's a person, and it winds up on the doorstep of the main protagonist, Clay, who was close with her. But you reveal that they were close through flashbacks.
Yeah.
You listen to the tape. Well, you don't literally listen to it, but like when he's listening to the tape, he has flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
But the way they handled it was, like, she killed herself, but you do not see her suicide until the end of like the season.
Yeah.
Even though now they cut it because people were triggered by it and whatnot. And
maybe don't watch a show about suicide if you're gonna get triggered about it. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. But the way they would build it up, you grow attached to the character, and you see. Then they unfortunately the character, even though they're dead, you still grow attached to them, and when you see them die, you're like, what?
Exactly.
Like, honestly, when I first saw that show, I was kind of depressed for a week.
Yeah.
But this was a few years ago, so when it first came out, so that's all I wanted. I want it to format that way. I want the audience to grow attached to Shelly, and then when that night happens in the flashback, people get they feel bad. They feel
they feel sympathy.
Attached. Yeah, they feel actually attached to this character.
Yeah,
that's how I want it to be done. And the way they would transition with the flashbacks was fucking amazing. Yeah. They would I don't know how to describe it, but so the lighting for I wanted to do the same thing. The lighting of the show was when it was in the present day, it was very cold colors, had kind of a bluish gray tint to it, if I can describe it like that.
Yeah.
And then when it would go to a flashback, the lighting would slowly warm up to a yellowish, kind of white, and it would be a lot brighter. And then you could tell but I just really like those transitions, and I want that to be done here because it feels like it was very surreal, and I think those were really well done.
Exactly.
Because it'd be a great symbolism too, the present time is just miserable, while the past was so good, so great. So I think, I know another thing is people would this show be in black and white? Because the comic was in black and white. I
don't see reason why it should be in black and white.
I personally, the original film got away with doing very monochrome colors to homage to the comic was black and white, and I think it should be the same thing with here. I know some people have said maybe do an animated sort of thing with do it drawn the original style. But I think that'd be interesting too, but the thing is black and white doesn't really appeal to people that much anymore because I don't want it to garner just the fans. I want it to garner even the mainstream because of course you want other people to check it out. Like, of course.
Exactly.
Like especially when you're a film company, like film companies don't just care about the fans. They want everyone to go see their product.
Yeah.
They want the mainstream attention. So I want to try to appeal to. I know the fans are important, but I want to appeal to everyone, so everyone else can.
Exactly.
The non-fans can go check it out, and then they can hopefully become fans themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, you know, of course, with that being said, then eventually he learns what he must do, and with that being said,
he sets out to kill them.
Yeah,
Murder.
But with that being said, we'll talk about the cut character that we kind of talked about in the review, the Skull Cowboy. Now, he was cut from the original film. I did some more research about. They were gonna film more scenes with the Skull Cowboy, but due to Brandon's passing, they were like, okay, we don't have enough footage of them together to like make this like work in like pacing and stuff, or it would just be out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, but in the comic, the Skull Cowboy does not physically appear with Eric. Like, you don't see them standing together.
Mm-hmm.
The Skull Cowboy is pretty much an observer.
Yeah.
He's just watching these events unfold, but he communicates to Eric through vision. I think Eric does see him at the end, but it's in Eric's POV, so you don't see them like standing together, like, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like the film was gonna do. The original film was gonna make him like this sort of mentor who would like tell him what to do and stuff, and well, not exactly what to, but he would tell him like, this is your mission. You have to kill all the people that killed you and your fiance.
Yeah.
Then you go back into the and he would punish Eric.
Kill the motherfuckers.
If he would punish Eric if he didn't like, if he went off track or something. So which I shared with you a like one of the few scenes that I think survived, but it wasn't officially released. And he in that scene, the Skull Cowboy tells Eric like, your work here is done. Like, forget about Sarah, because it's supposed to take place when Sarah gets kidnapped in the final showdown. Yeah. But Eric, brushes him off, and Skull Cowboy says like, if you go do this, you'll be trapped on Earth for like ever, and stuff. So
yeah.
Like I said, I want to try to stick to the comic as close to the comic as possible. I want the Skull Cowboy in it for me, but I don't want him to be this like mentor sort of thing. I want him to be the observer.
Yeah.
Maybe in like I think the comic does it. Like maybe when Eric gets ready and stuff, and he leaves the house, the camera can pan, and he's like standing in the corner, like kind of creepy, like. He calls Eric like kid and stuff, like nice job, kid. Like it could be just like that camera pan. And he's like in the corner, kind of like just
cheering him.
Don't have them physically stand together because they have two different aesthetics going on. Like Eric's very punk rock, and the Skull Cowboy is literally a skeleton cowboy.
Yeah.
So that's how I do it.
It wasn't very clear. It wasn't very clear in the video sent. It wasn't very clear in channel because of the fucking quality, but
yeah, I hope one day like they uncover them. If maybe there was more that they uncover and restore them more, because that'd be really And I also saw some concept art, that like storyboards that they posted of other scenes he was going to be in. Like I think, so one of the ones was he would when he cleanses Sarah's mom of the morphine, the Skull Cowboy would have came in and said, "You weren't supposed to do that. You're like sidetracking from your mission," and he would lacerate Eric, which is why he's wearing the duct tape around his hands in that final act. And it was the same thing, like with the one on his chest and stuff. He would like lacerate him, like, "You're going off track.
Oh,
stick to your mission." Like,
yeah.
Thing. And if the Skull Cowboy hurt him, he couldn't heal from it. And the Skull Cowboy would have also told him about the weakness with the crow, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, I think just having the Skull Cowboy be this observer who's just talking to Eric through visions and stuff, I think that'd be really good.
Yeah,
I think it would be for the best.
Exactly.
Well, we can also... So, yeah, of course, Eric's going one by one, stalking and killing the gang members. You know, very angry, very brutal.
You know, just doing as usual.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, we'll talk about Top Dollar. So, in the original comic, there wasn't really a villain, per se. There wasn't that big villain, like the main villain sort of thing. They were all kind of the enemies. There just wasn't, like, the head. Yeah. So, with that being said, would you like Top Dollar to stay as that, like, the main villain, like the head of, like, the gangs and stuff of the city?
Wasn't that are you asking if I wanted to stay like that?
Yeah, would you want it to be like that, or would you like no main villain?
I think I would keep it like that because I don't see really reason to take it away.
Like I said, I want to follow as close to the comic as possible, but I feel like of course, in movies, they want to have a main antagonist.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, if they do, I would only have Top Dollar as the main villain if they completely change his character. His whole, like, completely change his aesthetic. Just make it, like, something new.
Yeah. Like,
don't do the same thing. Like, have his aesthetic be very gothic. Kind of like a vampire, but not really. And of course, him with his stepsister being in this very sexual sort of relationship. I would just do a completely different, like, aesthetic and design of the character.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'd get, but because I don't really have any specific vision in mind. The only one I can think of is, like, that kind of, like, not kind of cliche kind of like mob boss kind of thing. That's what I picture.
Yeah.
Like,
do you know who the actor reminded me of? Oh my god, what's his name? This is a stupid question, but I should know his name. But who played Peter Sven in the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy?
Do you mean the Raimi trilogy? James Franco?
Yeah. James Franco, yeah. Because...
You know what?
Your sound is fucked up now. Yep, okay, it's good now. But yeah, like, him and the guy look almost alike to me. Yeah, like, I think that's, I would want someone who would sound intimidating. Yeah. I was thinking, like, Liam Neeson, kind of, like, intimidation kind of thing. Like I said, I want a complete overhaul of the character, just do something new with it. Yeah. So, the story goes on and stuff. We get more flashbacks. Sometimes the flashbacks aren't just through him touching, he just has them. Yeah. We keep establishing Shelley as a character. It probably doesn't have to do with touching anything. Like, even if he can see something, then he has a flashback. Yeah. Like, he just kind of has, like, a... Yeah, so... Like I said, I want an attachment. I want the audience to be... Like, I want it to be the same way as... with my personal experience with like,
like the Hannah Baker stuff. Like I said, I was depressed for a week. I want people. I don't want people to feel like miserable, but I want people to have that kind of like sympathy kind of thing. Like that kind of feeling like you did lose someone you knew, like that kind of thing. But but you're like, but they're a fictional character, like like that kind of thing. So it's hard for me to remember specific scenes and stuff. I'm just trying to because like I said, I haven't read the comic in a while.
I would
pick it up again.
I would just try and like do like the fights like with the same characters but like in different ways.
I think like I think the big shootout that was like I think the final battle in the comic. I'm trying to.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So I think we'll just go right to that. So the big shootout.
I personally keep that in.
Like I said, if we get Chad Stahelski to direct it, I think it'd be very good, and he adds like that sort of realism to it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think one of the last things is the weakness. So in the comic, Eric, like if you shoot the crow, he loses his immortality, sort of thing. Wasn't present. The only weakness he had was his emotions, obviously, and if he actually hurt himself, like his own inspirations, then it wouldn't heal.
Yeah.
I think so. For my idea for weakness, because of course we gotta have stakes. We gotta have that sort of maybe the hero won't get like the good ending.
Yeah.
Just that. I'd say he has a time limit. That's my idea. Is he has a time limit? Like he has maybe 24 or 48 hours.
Oh yeah, like
kill the guy, go back in the grave, and if he doesn't, he's stuck on Earth forever.
Yeah.
That's my idea. Give him a time limit.
Yeah.
He can be as indestructible as he wants, but he has a time limit. So, and maybe you can have a scene where. Maybe the same thing happens like in the original. Sarah gets kidnapped. He goes to rescue her, and the battle's kind of drawn out. And maybe he's. But in this version, this hypothetical version, he has to worry about like the clock striking midnight, so he's more like anxious and stuff. And maybe by the time, there's a clock nearby or something. And when he touches the grave, it strikes midnight, and he kind of gets like that kind of gasp, like, "Oh shit, he didn't make it." Like,
I would do? I would make the final battle like take place in like the church where like the funeral was held or something, and then like all the encounters like happen like around the church area. So like anytime he's just done with the fight, like he goes out and just sees the clock. And before he goes there, he has like an hour left to even lower to just finish.
Yeah,
the
like
fight.
when he walks into the church, like you kind of see like the clock, and he maybe has like maybe an hour or 30 minutes left.
Yeah.
And like the battle happens, and then he goes back to the grave. He touches it, but the clock strikes midnight, and it's like that, and it can be like that moment, like, oh man, he didn't make it. Like he's like now he's stuck on Earth forever, and he can't be with Shelley again. So and then you can of course have an emotional moment where he's like, like I did it, I did it, I won, like Shelley, come back to me, and maybe like he pounds on the grave or something, it starts cracking, like and then of course like she appears right behind him, and happy ending.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Sure. It was Dale.
So that's how I do it.
Yeah, same.
But with that being said, I also, speaking of like emotional moments, I want a lot of them.
Yeah.
I want scenes where he's just by himself, just wallowing in this like pain.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, one of my favorite panels from the comic is literally him sitting down, like on his knees, just sobbing, while like the tragedy mask is above him, like on the wall.
Yeah.
Like it's very like emotional. Like having those moments it adds vulnerability to it and like an understanding of why. So with that being said, we did like the final battle, but I won't now kind of sidetrack to like the incident.
Yeah.
The night
of the massacre.
The night of the murder.
The bite of
so
87.
In the comic, it was very different in the comic. Their car broke. They were celebrating on their engagement on a beach, and their car stops. So they were like looking for help, and of course the gang shows up, and in the comic, Eric is shot. It's actually a lot sadder and brutal in the comic than the movie. Eric's shot in the back of the head, and he's not dead. He's like paralyzed, and he has to watch Shelly be like raped and mutilated.
Jesus.
Like he has, and he's like he can't move or anything. He's just paralyzed. And you just see like the tears just streaming down his face, and it's raining too. I know this might sound very morbid to say, but I think I don't want them to show the rape of Shelly.
Yeah.
I don't think you should. I don't think rape scene. I see it. There's a lot of rape scenes, and rape is just something so morbid and like fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
I think it should just be. I think it should just be done the same way in the comic. Like you don't see the rape happen, but you just look at Eric's eyes, just him laying there and just tears. Like, but you hear what's going on, but you don't see it. You just see Eric just lying there, like in the comic. So I think that's how it should be done. I think it'd be quite an intense emotional moment.
Yeah.
I think it would get a lot of people crying and stuff, like because like being like just shot like dead is one thing, like just but he's like shot in the back of the head. He's like bleeding out, and he's sorry, someone had to come in.
Okay.
Like I said, like I think it would be a pretty intense emotional moment. I want the audience to be like again, like sad, like kind of like
they feel emotion from it.
Yeah, very emotional.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you grow because like I said, you want an attachment. I want the audience to form an attachment to not just Shelly but Eric and their whole relationship entirely. Like they were such a loving couple. They loved each other so much. They were gonna have the happily ever after, and it just cut short. And it just makes people like feel bad.
Yeah, because like if they see what happens to without even like seeing it, like it's bad enough like hearing it.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be like 10 times worse if it was like actually shown.
Yeah, just don't cut it to like Shelly's, like seeing it from Shelly's perspective, or like you see that part. Like just show like Eric just lying there in the rain, just like you hear it but you don't see it.
Yeah.
But by hearing it you understand what's happening.
Yeah.
And through the obvious nods that happen throughout the whatever like media this hypothetical would be under. And then of course the book ends, the story ends, Eric goes back to the grave, happily ever after.
Yes.
So yeah. So I think with the final thoughts about that is like this character in the story is important. I mean I dressed up as this character for Halloween and learned how to do the makeup and stuff.
I remember seeing that. You cosplay
so
that
it's
stuff.
important.
What's up, Dale?
Yeah.
Having a fucking headache, you.
Having a good old time.
Well, no, because I called my buddy saying, what the fuck's going on with tomorrow? He's saying we're going to hang out till, like, we're going to hang from, like, 11 to 4. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I have to get my game. I have to pay my phone bill and shit anyways.
Yeah.
But He goes, "Oh yeah, GameStop is closed."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, "It's not. I just fucking called them." So explain that fucking shit to me.
Maybe it's a holiday. Maybe they're closed on today.
No, my buddy said he was closed all week so far.
All week? Why are they closed all week?
Yeah. I just fucking called them, and they just said that they're open till 8. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
So, so you see what kind of predicament I'm in here, even with the fact that I have to get a new game tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, fuck.
Yeah. Speaking of the FGC realm, I don't know yet if I'll bring it up in this podcast, but we'll try
I'll give you time to. I'll give you like a segue.
Yeah. But let's continue with the movie. We're almost done, and then we'll jump right into the FGC Minecraft realm thing.
Yeah, I'll just let you segue. I'll be like,
wait, Minecraft realm?
Now it works on Gargirhi.
Yes. And now
you made a realm, Matt?
No, we're about to for FGC.
Yo.
But I'll explain it to you after. let's just let Jake. Yeah. Alright, Jacob, carry on.
Okay, so like what I was saying is,
yeah, you cosplay as him.
Important to me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's important to me. I also have a poster on my door framed up from the comics. So it's important to me. I want new adaptation. I think it'd be really nice to see a new adaptation, but I want it done with love and respect.
Yes.
That's all I want. It'd be really cool. It'd be really great to see it, maybe watching it on a streaming service, or hell, if pandemic gets better, see it in a theater. It'd be really cool to see, because I wasn't alive when it came out. I wasn't alive to experience it in the theater.
Exactly.
So it'd be really cool to see a new version, like a new adaptation.
For sure. Would you want it done by a private, what I would call a private studio, or a big studio that you trust?
Honestly, when it comes to The Crow, I don't trust a big studio because
especially a remake, let alone.
The sequel, City of Angels, it was supposed to be a good movie. Even though I wouldn't have had personal problems with it, there's some. If you guys want us to cover it, like I said in the first one, let us know.
Yeah, because we might cover it.
But City of Angels, I can send you the video for the context and stuff. But, it was supposed to be a better film than what we got, but the film studio was make it like the first film, and they just spliced everything up and made it a mess.
Jesus.
So I don't want to trust a film's. I don't want to trust that film studio that did it. I want.
Oh, how they massacred my boy.
I'd probably say Lionsgate, who was for John Wick. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I'd probably say them. But I think maybe private. It's hard to tell.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to.
I would personally say private, because I wouldn't necessarily trust a big company. Maybe a few
because I feel
with a remake.
Because I feel when it comes to remakes and reboots and stuff, they always go "Oh, we're gonna take the story in a whole new direction."
Oh, we're gonna go sicko mode with this one.
We're
gonna go sicko mode.
Yeah, we're gonna take the story in a whole new direction, and then you just end up recreating. A good example, and I'm not gonna blame him for it, was the Rob Zombie Halloween reboot.
Yeah.
Again, if you want us to check it out, just let us know. I'm not gonna say much about it, but they were gonna do like when it first starts off, they were actually taking it into a new direction, exploring Michael's childhood.
Mm-hmm.
But then once he breaks out of the sanitarium, once he puts the mask on, it literally becomes the first film, like the original.
Oh my god!
Like, and I don't want to, and I'm not blaming. I think Rob Zombie did an okay job with what he was given. I feel like that was the studio meddling with it, because he said on the Joe Rogan podcast that he was meddled when he was doing studio meddled when he was doing the Halloween films.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to meddle. Like, I feel like that's what happened if you go to a major, because because their logic is the first film was so good, and they don't want to risk the first film's formula was really good. People like it. We don't want to take a risk and do something new because it might backfire. So they don't. They're too scared to take a risk and do something new.
Exactly.
So with that, so like I said, I as a fan, I want a new adaptation. It'd be great to see like The Crow making headlines and people talking, people buzzing about it, new people checking it out.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
Exactly.
But for now, and I didn't talk about it much, but I think I'll just explain. So they said the word reinvent. They were getting people who did care about the original film to do it. I think it flip-flopped between directors and stuff. It was we were getting close to one around 2018. I think they casted Jason Momoa as Eric Draven. If you don't know who that is, Aquaman. The buff guy.
I could see him.
For me personally, with him, I personally don't see it. I think he's too muscular. I picture Eric Draven as I picture him being very lean. He's not super buff, but he's skinny. But he's you can tell he's muscular.
Yeah.
But he's not super buff.
Exactly.
And something.
That's what a problem I would have with it too. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think he could do a good job as a different Crow, not Eric Draven, but a different person.
Exactly.
But I think both him and the director who was working on it left over.
Yeah, maybe make him an enemy or something. Make him a boss.
Yeah. Oh, he could play Top Dollar. Oh.
Yeah. See.
Having him be physically more, it would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So with that, I don't know why some people just say the film series is cursed or something.
It really isn't unless you do it correctly.
Take that with a grain of salt. That's just what people say because they've been trying to do a new version and it just doesn't work out. Yeah. I think both the director and Momoa who are working on it just leftover creative differences, or some say budgeting, some saying creative differences. Yeah, but Sony pulled it from the release schedule or something. So I guess that project's dead.
Yeah.
I said
for now.
I want this. This is I said. I think this generation, I think they need a new adaptation because
exactly. Because it would do well. It would generally do well with the current generation.
I think it would garner fans and garner.
Because edgy.
Like I said,
Death.
You want to see some? Hang on. So another thing I would want it to do is if they do an episode. This is just another side note. I know we kind of go flip flop, but like I said, we don't have a script. We're just improvising.
Well, it is a podcast after all.
Yeah. So, and the back of the comic, they'd have poems, and my favorite one is this one, and I'll pull it up right now and I'll read it.
Okay.
I really like them. I feel like if the episode started out with that poem, it would kind of establishes like what's going on. So this is from issue number 2. It's kind of edgy, but I feel like with the context it makes sense. So I will read it out for you and for the people at home right now. He screams and screams and pounds his head against the wall until wailing fire trucks pace across his vision. Pain. Pain is all he wants. And hate. Yes, hate. We shall never forget and never forgive. And never ever fear. Fear is for the enemy. Fear and bullets.
True.
So what'd you think about that?
Pretty good, honestly. Like, fear...
I mean, it's just a back cover.
Yeah, like, fear is like a sense of like...
I feel like if they actually pulled those poems, like I have all of them right here. This one, issue 1, a year ago. A cold October night. A broken down car on a dirt road. A man. A girl. Madness. Pain. In the shadows. My God, the shadows. I feel like if the episode started with that poem, it would really set the mood and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like so that's
like a poem in every episode's beginning.
Yeah, there's like a lot of poems, like because in the comic Eric's a mechanic, but he's also an aspiring poet.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of poetry in the comic.
Yeah.
Like he quotes, like you see it in the film too. Like he quotes Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven when he's at the pawn shop. So you can tell like he's very poetic and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that being said, one more thing I want to add is if you do want new Crow stuff, or I highly recommend 2 fan films, which I can link Gary if he wants to put in like the description or something. Yeah. If you want to check.
Send me them anytime before. What day is it? Thursday. Send me anytime before Saturday because this should be coming on Saturday.
There are 2 really good fan films that I think are really good, and it makes you kind of feel like you're watching a new Crow movie. And since it's done by fans, you know they're fans. They
care
to make it right.
They actually care about stuff.
So yeah, just credits due where credits due. They're both really good, enjoyable. So if you like what we were talking about, or like I said in the review, highly recommend you check out the original. You can check out the fan films.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling extra edgy, or you're not afraid of some brutal moments, and some people would think is edgy, but I feel like it's more appropriate with The Crow. Check out the comic.
Yeah.
I do have it on like paperback and stuff, so it's accessible. People can go out and get it. So
exactly.
So I highly recommend. And now a word from Gary.
Hello, kids. I'm Gary, and welcome to my segment of the podcast. So, like it was said before, FTC is having another realm on Minecraft. This is the second realm ever we're hosting, and basically there's gonna be these things within it. There's gonna be a currency system. The theme is gonna be medieval. You get to build your own kingdom, and there's gonna be shops from other people to get shit, fuck, and sell stuff. Not the first two included. That's illegal. But it's basically gonna be like Civilization, but Minecraft. I'm pretty sure, if that's the best way you can describe it. So basically, you're gonna build your own nation, and you get to trade with others. Each person will be like the leader of their own nation, as I said. I just said that differently, but more in detail. So very epic, very
I have one question when you're good.
Nice stuff. Yeah, what's up?
Is this in survival or in creative?
I would assume it's gonna be in survival. Jacob just told me like the bare minimum things he's planning. He's the one behind this for the most part, I'm pretty sure. Because I've been busy with something that's gonna be releasing tomorrow as we speak. but yesterday technically, which I'll get into. But yeah, so it'll make more sense for when it actually releases. We might do a video on its own with it, but that's essentially going to be it for that little hints of what's gonna happen. So if you're interested, hopefully you guys will join the realm. It's going to be very cool. Highly recommend it. It seems very interesting. We did a test server, and even though I didn't fucking play because I got zoned out like 95% of the time, it seems like it's very interesting. But yeah, the server is going to be called Kingdom SMP. We'll try and stream it, or at least record our own points of views from it, and hopefully, like I said, you guys will like it and be intrigued with it and be part of it. But yeah, is that, do you guys have anything to say about that? Does that sound epic?
I mean, I don't.
I mean, that sounds awesome.
I don't play Minecraft, that we should do, so I don't know what what.
There's also one thing that they should do. They should hit the like button down below.
True.
Yeah.
They should.
I'm such a clickbaiter. I'm sorry. It's just in my system.
It's okay. We're only an hour, and I'm sure someone will get to this point.
Yeah, of course.
I think but that being said,
actually, there's one more thing. This should be released by tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, the day after. So as you all know from the channel yesterday, there's a new channel that is about. Like I said in those videos, it's a place for you guys to upload your own stuff. So if you do join the Minecraft realm, or anything really in particular, but this is like the perfect I guess time to like show your own point of view from like our Minecraft realm. So if you do record, be sure to submit those videos, even clips, to that channel, and they'll be uploaded. And yeah, that's about it. So be sure to subscribe to Fake Gamers Society as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for listening.
Yes.
Sorry, there might be like cuts and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, real life and stuff. So sorry about that. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, or however. Sure to like, comment, subscribe.
And we'll see you guys whenever we next do a podcast in nearly a year. Goodbye.
Yep,
and
goodbye.
hit that notification bell. You're welcome.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
We're fucking sellout.